everyone, welcome to another Overrated Film Saturday, and today, as you can see by the title and thumbnail, we're going to be discussing Hannah Montana the movie. Before I get into anything, I am so sorry that this process has been taking a long time for me to upload videos. Unfortunately, this weekend was rather busy, and on top of that, my audio wasn't cooperating with me for some reason. It should be fixed now. I did look over the previous video that I did, so I'm hoping I can have all the videos uploaded by the end of today. So without further ado, let me address what I wanted to talk about in regards to Hannah Montana, which is basically the fact that it's overrated and sort of why I think that is. This movie was sort of at the kind of, if I would call it, sort of pinnacle of Miley Cyrus's career, in the sense of her being kind of this country girl persona, I guess you could say. And largely this film was popular because, for only one reason and one reason only, the TV show. The TV show was a huge hit and tons of people were going crazy over this show. I literally did not get the appeal of the show, nor did I get the appeal of the vast majority of Disney Channel live action television shows. I thought largely a lot of what was going to be presented to me in the show was going to reflect onto this film, which it clearly does. It does feel sort of like an elongated episode, but with kind of a more out of the box maybe plot, because it's not necessarily in the same location as the show is. But at the same time, it was really not only a hit initially upon release, but it also got, I think, a lot of attention for, in particular, the main star, Miley Cyrus, because eventually we would see her sort of rise to, I think, another level of fame, which has transformed her into whatever persona she's trying to be now. I honestly don't know. But that's really what I think is important to note in regards to this particular film. And obviously the critics didn't like this film. Obviously there wasn't a huge movie fan base that really enjoyed, I think, this film. So it wasn't obviously a moviegoer film, but it obviously made a lot of money because of the television show, because there were genuine fans of this movie, even though I find this movie to be very overrated in that, just purely from the amount of money it made, as well as the amount of initial reception that people had in regards to seeing this movie because of the television show. So it's pretty bad on a lot of levels. This movie has a pretty, I guess you could say, almost convoluted and really sort of, I would say, almost stupid message. And on top of that, it's very cookie cutter. It feels very corporate, Disney schlock, like genuinely not putting in any effort. It's just all designed to be kind of smiles, and it's trying. This is what bothers me a lot about these Disney Channel television shows. They try so hard to be charming. They try so hard to be, innocent. But the thing is that they don't have any real charm to them. And the thing is when you have a character like Miley Cyrus's character in the show, Hannah Montana, you really don't ultimately really have any genuine care for her character, at least from my standpoint, because she really is spoiled and she really has everything handed to her. I mean, the only problem she has is this double life that she's living, which she can clearly stop at any time. So I think it's just it's just a premise that I don't think really generates a lot of really in-depth insight into anything. It's just kind of it's just designed to, pander to, kind of, I think more so the female demographic of achieving some kind of fame and some kind of, luxury and fortune through fame, um, instead of through genuine accomplishment and hard work. So, um, so really, this movie's message ultimately is to embrace that fake, superficial persona. Because literally her fans within the end of this film uh, request that she keep her fake identity, like that she doesn't be who she actually is. Um, and in case people aren't aware of really the genuine, I mean, the plot is the same thing, pretty much of the show. She's trying to hide the fact that she is this celebrity. And obviously, there is a big Clark Kent moment with that, obviously, because all she does is put on a wig, and somehow people don't recognize the fact that she is this celebrity. And that's the premise of the show, and that's the premise too of this film. It's just set in a different location and elongated for no reason, because we want to make a movie, even though we can't really make a movie. So that's really the thing. And obviously people were suckered into that all to begin with because people like the show. It's similar to how people who like Entourage will go see, genuine Entourage fans are going to go see a film uh called Entourage. That's actually another film that I actually might do. Yes, yes, Entourage. I'm coming after you eventually. But you really do feel like it's an elongated episode of the television show. And this is what this movie did. Um, and tried to sugarcoat it and pad the running time and end up providing a horrible message to its audience, which is, yeah, embrace the fake celebrity, persona. And I think in a way that's sort of the route that ultimately Miley Cyrus eventually made through her career, if you really look at it. I mean, she embraced that whole attention-seeking persona, instead of just being kind of just a genuine, trying to be a genuine, I guess you could say, artist. I'm not saying that she's not a genuine person. I'm just saying that the persona that she gives off is rather fake and is not, there's nothing genuine or relatable to it. It's just designed to just be manufactured. And this is what the movie embraces. This movie fully embraces that mentality, to embrace the celebrity, embrace the fake, non real person. And it just really is one of those messages that really is just so bad in its execution that it really doesn't offer anything inspirational or uplifting to people. I mean, it's just a complete, it's almost like it's a sellout on itself. And that's where I think this film obviously probably did get the amount of praise that it did, because people, I think, more so embrace the Hannah Montana character for being fake, for not being really genuinely real. And I think that's a huge problem, because that's not, it's not really it's telling people to not be true to their character. It's telling them to embrace this fake, non real entity for the sake of fame. instead of just accepting who you are. And I think that's just it's just one of those things where you look at it and go, really, you can't just be who you are. I mean, you have to have this double life for no really real good reason. And yeah, it's just I think the only way I can describe it is just it's just a stupid I just think it is a downright stupid idea. I mean, the whole idea of just having this double life but not give any real substance or meaning behind it. It's just, oh, I have to hide the fact that I'm a singer. I mean, that whole concept doesn't really have a whole lot of weight to it compared to something like Superman, where Superman and Clark Kent are a representation of a hero, and you see the turmoil and the triumph that ultimately brings about these two characters together, and how ultimately, you know, the persona is true to who Clark Kent really is. So those kinds of stories really do work. But here you really do see how fake and how uh, it's just so it's just the only way I can describe it. It's just corporate manufactured nonsense. Just nothing of substance, nothing of value, and I just can't believe that this is the kind of entertainment we're showcasing to kids nowadays. Even still now on Disney Channel, when you go on Disney Channel, um, a lot of it is trying to pander still to trying to create these live action films and kind of again manufacture these kinds of stars and just send them on their way once they reach a certain age. So yeah, and I think Hannah Montana the movie was really this particular one was I think the one to kind of start the trend of generating this kind of attitude of, yeah, we're going to manufacture all of these different people who really with and not really give them any real kind of unique personality. They're just kind of going to be the same thing except maybe a little bit different, and we'll make them stars and we'll make them famous, and then we'll put them out into the real world, and then they'll become these overly crazy um, celebrities who can't really, have any real control and, completely transform their persona into something that uh, Disney is obviously not really known for representing at all, really. So it just goes to show, it's really one of those films that did this, and I think it, it allowed this kind of attitudes to continue further and further. But that's just my personal thoughts when it comes to this film. I mean, this is ultimately all I can say about it. It is just a complete waste of time and energy, and yeah, I just think that we deserve. I just think kids in particular deserve a whole lot better than this kind of schlock that they're putting together. Um, and even though there was schlock like this before, similar to like, the Lizzie McGuire movie being one of the first, I still felt that at least that one had some genuine, you know, ideas behind it. It wasn't executed a as a not even a good necessarily could classify film, but at least it tried to bring out a sort of positive message. Whereas here, there's nothing positive about it. I mean, it's totally embracing everything that even I think Disney themselves are against. I mean, they're against the whole idea of hiding yourself and putting on this fake image. So I don't know. It's confusing, but at the same time, I mean, when Disney is such a huge company as it is now, there's obviously going to be some probably uh, inconsistencies as far as its branding is concerned. But ultimately, though, I think that's really all I can say when it comes to this film. It's just a mess, and I just don't care for it, and I think it would have been better off had this film not been made. But I think that's really ultimately all I can say. If there are any questions, comments, concerns, be more than happy to answer them. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you all have a pleasant day, week, month, and year, and I hope to see you all in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.